That's what.
Bluff City Media presents the No Bluffing Podcast. Stepping up to the microphone are your hosts, Christian Ingram and Evan Hayes. Now, let's get to the show.
Grizz Nation, what's going on? I'm Chris Ingram.
And I'm Evan Hayes.
And this is No Bluffing Podcast, where you keep it all the way real, all the way raw, and all the way honest about everything. Grizz, glad to be back for another week. Got a lot to talk about today. This is going to be a quicker episode than y'all normally know us for, man, because we are live. I know on YouTube, we've been posting the day after, coming from the Sunday recording, Sunday night recording, but we live tonight, man. A little bit later than we wanted to be, but we still here in the flesh for y'all. So appreciate y'all tapping in so far. We got them coming through. Yeah, make sure y'all drop a comment based off, what y'all hearing tonight. We definitely want to hear what you got going. But man, a lot to talk about, man. Evan, tell me before we get started, man. First of all, hold on. Let me get it right. Hold on. Because it is applause in order for my guy, man. He did. My guy did just recently graduate, man. So I gotta give him the kudos. How
It feels great. Finally got this piece of paper right here for all the people that can see.
All that money for a piece of paper. That's crazy, ain't it?
Pretty much, yeah. All that money for a piece with a picture of a mountain and a steeple in it. But if y'all can see, name, cum laude honors. So that was dope. It was a real good feeling to finally walk across that stage, having my family there, having a lot of friends that I didn't expect to be there. So it was just rewarding. The fact that I got out of there in 2.5 years, which is kind of crazy to even think about.
Bro,
First dude.
How does that happen? Because in your first year and a half, 2 years, that ain't number how does that even happen, bro?
I gotta shout out the school, whatever jersey I see behind me. Middle College High School is the college I went to back home, and they have a thing set up where you can take dual enrollment credits starting with your sophomore year if you get a certain ACT score. So I started taking college classes in my 10th grade year, and ever since then I just started racking credits up. So I came in with 38, 39 credits, something like that. So once I got that done, I came into the sophomore, took some summer classes that I didn't need to take, but I was like, why not? And yeah, it turned out I could graduate this semester. So I said, why not? Let's do it. So that's how you become a degree person at 20 years old. So you know.
I gotta put my daughter on, man, when it's time.
Yeah.
You know, get started early so you can get in and out of that thing. Too cozy. Appreciate you tapping in, bro. You said I'm low, so I need you to confirm for me now. Am I a little bit louder in the headphones? Let me know, brother.
Yeah, let us know. Get us right. But yeah, get your daughters into that type of stuff. I recommend it. It's a stressor, but if they can handle it, I would definitely recommend it because it teaches them kind of the ropes of college early, so it's not kind of like a new thing. It's so it doesn't really, because I know every freshman they get that kind of like a fish out of water situation, where it's just a whole new situation. But if you get them with it early, it's not as bad. So I definitely recommend doing what I did. I took 18 credits. I've taken 28 credits for the past like summer to now.
Bro, you a madman, bro. What
That's
you 20
months. I took 10 credits during the summer and 18 during the regular semester while doing everything else I do. So I wouldn't recommend that. But if you can get your daughters with a sane amount of credit hours, then you'll be fine.
My boy taking 18 credit hours.
It was not fun.
Running track, working out,
doing this.
Girlfriend ain't in school, so he on semen retention. Yeah, leave my boy. You my dog.
Yeah, being 8 hours away from the crib ain't the most fun thing sometimes. But we got it. What's up, saying? But yeah, we got this little piece of paper right here. So it was all worth it. I hope. We'll see how I feel. It was this first weekend back in the image. Y'all can see I'm back home in my regular setup. Appreciate you, Cozy. So yeah, man, it was a pretty smooth week. How was your week?
Man, it's another week chopping that tree, bro. I got so much stuff going on right now. It's so much, man, that's happening in the background. But you know what I'm saying? I got some
pending good news.
I got some pretty damn good news today that I can't share, man, because I don't want to, I don't want to speak before the chickens that came home to lay the eggs and hatch. But man, just talking about hard work and just keeping your head down and focus and all of that, bro. Like,
that's great, bro.
Good God is all I can say right now. So the testimony will stay as he is for right now. But man, just know, God be working. Big God be working. If you not new or if you are new, you may not know what's going on. But one of our mottos on this show, bro, is something that I got from, I can't even remember where I got it from at this point. I think it was Jalen Hurts. And he said, if you're gonna worry, don't pray. And if you're gonna pray, don't worry. And bro, that's been this year. And like I said, to close it out, it seemed like it's some things that just kind of been
working itself out.
About it. Yeah. So shout out to you, with everything that you're doing right now. Candy, I ain't got no mess. It's not no mess. No, not tonight.
It's not after hours. It's not after hours. You can't do that every time today.
I got good news right there. Good news. Positive things, I'd say. Until my boy Saint came in checking you gave me so I can,
They said they was checking me. I still got it. They said they checked me because I released my grad pictures and they said him and Paris would check me on their show. So I guess I'm
like
just
your twin, bro. What's his name?
Noah Lyles.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just give the people some since I posted these pictures. They say I look just like Noah Lyles with my track singlet on. So I'll give you y'all can clip this, whatever, make whatever memes y'all want of me. I'm cool.
If you over to let me stop. Oh, see, the Lord is working on me. I know it, but I can't say what I want to.
You can get in on too, Chris. I'm cool. I got tough skin, bro. You can check me too, bro. I don't care.
You go where they feel like all black people look the same. You can really get it off. Like, if you went overseas somewhere and, you can really actually
put some medals on.
Yeah. Like you probably will be able to get everything you want. When I say everything, probably everything. So, shout out to you, bro. I don't know who I look like. They used to say I look like Carlton growing up. She used to piss me off.
That's kind of messed up. That's kind of
wild. I don't look like him at all.
That's kind of wild.
I had the box haircut maybe, but whatever.
Alfonso Ribeiro and Chris Ingram, I don't think those two things.
It don't match, bro. It don't match. It's wild as hell. But man, we ain't got news really for y'all. Like I said, it's gonna be an in and out type episode. We're gonna try to, like we always say, keep it down today. I say 45 minutes tops. We're already at 10, including the intro. So it is what it is. But before we jump into the gritty topics, bro, I gotta ask you, and we're gonna go ahead and let the band play. Like one of my favorite rappers.
Okay.
Cured the Heisman. We talked about it. I want to get your opinion on just, he solidified it. He got it. To me, I don't care what nobody say. Based on what he did this year, he has to be the greatest college football player of all time, right? I mean, I don't know. What was your thoughts on Travis Edey? Y'all let us know in the comments at the end of the talk. I want to hear what y'all got to say about this as well.
But number one, I feel like the committee made the right decision. I feel like Travis Hunter being arguably top 10, a top 5 player in both positions that he plays solidified him being the best player in college football, because the award is the best player in college football, not the best quarterback, not the best running back, not the best wide receiver, the best player, and he was undoubtedly the best player. It was a way closer race than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was pretty much going to be a landslide, but they say it was like the 4th closest race ever, which is very surprising. No disrespect to Ashton Genty and Cam Ward and Dylan Gabriel, but I feel like it was a pretty easy decision, but clearly I was wrong. But at the end of the day, the committee made the right decision. On him being the best college football player ever, I really have to think about that, because there's been some real hitters in college. You know, at least in the last decade, I think guys like Andrew Luck, Tim Tebow, I don't want to say Christian McCaffrey, because Christian McCaffrey was playing well, but I don't know if he's on that level. Saquon played crazy at Penn State. I'm just thinking about recent memory type. Lamar Jackson was a dog in college.
See, quarterbacks is unfair to me, because you got the ball in. Like, give you an example. When you playing like NCAA and you create your player and you make him as a quarterback, you're going to obviously damn near win the Heisman every year, because, like, you're going to make your guy, he going to have 99 speed, so he's going to be running 99 on power. Like, it's hard to compare to, like, quarterbacks. So, I guess okay, let me ask you this. Who would be before? I don't know if Travis is yours now. Who would you say was your favorite college football player
ever
to this point? Yeah.
It's going to be a controversial pick, because please when I say this name, don't take what he's done as a professional and all the allegations and yada yada. I'm just talking about when he was purely in college.
Johnny Football.
No, it wasn't Johnny Football. It wasn't him. Purely, when he was purely, I don't care what he's doing pro, because he's a weird dude. But Deshaun Watson was my favorite quarterback watching when he was at Clemson.
I mean, you could be honest, bro. Ain't no wrong with that. Yeah.
Like when he won the national championship game on the game winner to Hunter Renfrow, I lost my stuff that game. So Deshaun Watson, I loved watching him, because those battles with him and Lamar in the ACC, that was on. I feel like he should have won a Heisman. I can't remember who won over him, but it would be first Deshaun Watson and then Jameis Winston. Those would be my 2 favorites that I would say.
Okay, I'm gonna go Reggie Bush number 1. That man was unreal. So when I say, I even got to slap my own hand by saying that about Travis, because Travis was definitely, I mean, what he did this year was crazy, but Reggie was serious. But if I had to put a number 2 up there, probably would be Cam, bro. Cam be
my number 3.
Which was just ridiculous. A cheat code in college football for sure. So, but yeah, shout out to Travis, man, securing that, getting the Heisman. I think I saw that what's his name was actually in the top 10, which was dope. Even though you went in the top 4, to be in the top 10, Shador.
Who's that?
That was just dope. You know, he had a season that, you know, the doubters didn't expect he was gonna have. So
I got one thing to say on that. It's really weird that he won the Johnny Unitas award for the best player in college football, but he wasn't a Heisman finalist. I just think that's weird to me.
All them awards are weird.
Yeah, I just think that's weird to me. Like, how you name the best quarterback in college football, but for the Heisman, 2 guys who had a great season, might add, but also quarterbacks get named above you.
Because that's the same thing with Travis. I think he got defensive player of the year, but not best cornerback.
But he didn't get the Thorpe award, which is kind of crazy.
Come on, dog. Like, let's be
the award. They didn't get the award committees better when it comes to like naming these awards properly, because it doesn't make sense. Because in my opinion, Shador should have been there over Cam Ward. That's just my opinion. Cam Ward had a great season. I can't say nothing about Dylan Gabriel. He's the best quarterback. Well, not the best quarterback. He was the quarterback for the number 1 team in the country. Undefeated season. You can't really say nothing about him. But Cam Ward, I feel like Shador had a more consistent season and won more games, and that was because of him than Cam Ward. But that's just my opinion. But you know,
Cam put the entire program on his back. Yeah.
But he fell off.
You talking about Miami Cam, or you talking about Auburn Cam Newton? Which one are you talking about?
I think you're talking about Cam.
That's what I thought.
I don't have him. Oh yeah.
It wasn't like that Florida team, NK. Now that Florida team, that's different.
Yeah, Tim Tebow, Aaron Hernandez, bro. They had so many pros, so many crazy people on that team.
Bro, Percy Harvin at the time. I wanted to be Percy Harvin so bad.
They had
whatever on the field.
They had some dudes on that team.
Good God. So
and Cam Newton couldn't even play.
Couldn't even get no tick. Now that's the greatest college football team of all time. There should be no debate of that.
For sure.
You could put any Alabama team, any
Miami.
Yeah, I don't care about none of them. None of them. I'm sorry.
No.
But shout out to Travis. We ain't gonna get into his shenanigans with his girlfriend. We ain't his fiance. We ain't gonna touch that.
It's not our business.
This ain't the shade room. We cool on that.
this ain't Club Shay Shay either. We ain't doing that.
Yeah. I ain't got no drinks in me. I'm cool.
Yes, sir.
I ain't gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole. But what I am gonna touch is this commercial, bud. We're gonna hit this first commercial and we're gonna jump back and talk about some Grizz basketball. So y'all go ahead, get your popcorn, get you something to drink, and we'll meet you right back on the other side of this break on the No Bluffin podcast.
I'm excited for the Grizzlies can be. As you mentioned, you guys are dealing with a lot of injuries, but that's kind of what excites you because you've seen a lot of guys like make a name for themselves. I think Jalen Wells has been like, I am just like wowed by him. I think he was a guy that I didn't know much about. And so kind of seeing him like come into this like fold and like being a starter, and like I think you're gonna have to answer a lot of hard questions, especially healthy again. When you have so many guys that you can like plug and play like that makes it where it's like, oh, this team could be really good. And Zack Edey, I know from being a Grizzlies fan in Memphis, like the big has always been, you know, that puzzle piece that we've been trying to figure out what it's like, and will Zack Edey as a rookie be good? Seeing him play last night, it was like, especially when you think about like we were undersized, but how Zack Edey as a rookie can like dominate that area, and seeing the connection and the chemistry that he already has with Ja Morant is, to me, that excites me for like what is to come.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
And let's give Jacob Raven a shout out. I know he catches a lot of flack, but he's had a great week since that contract to get renewed. Even that night against Milwaukee, he had a good game. So
since Halloween,
I think he has the highest plus minus on the team, and he's been a plus in every single game since the first loss to the Nets. He's been a positive on the court ever since then. So
I mean, he's been the most. Is it weird that he's been the most reliable guy that we've had out there? The growth that Jake has shown just in a season's length of games is really impressive, and considering how like bad he was, you know, like when he got drafted, it's pretty impressive. Right. It might be one of the most impressive things Kleiman's done.
Tune in to The Daily Grind with your host, Lute Hatmaker, every Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
To the No Bluffin podcast, where we keep it all the way real, all the way raw, and all the way honest about everything Grizzlies. I am Chris Ingram. To my right is my right hand man, Evan Hayes. Man, we back to talk about the Grizzlies Week In review. Got a lot to get to, but first we got NK. He got a comment on here. He said he got 2013 Florida State.
That's James Winston.
They were pretty cold. LSU.
With Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, that is maybe number one. With Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, all the dogs they had on defense and offense, they had Clyde hilarious. That team should be number one. They went undefeated that year. They beat everybody by like a march by like 3 touchdowns.
They don't know if I take them over that Florida team. That's a good ass matchup though.
I'm mad to take LSU. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm mad to take that Florida team was cold, but I'm mad to take LSU.
Who was Mark Ingram's quarterback when he was at Bama? It was him. He had Julio receiver.
It wasn't AJ McCarron. He wasn't there yet. Was it? I have to look that up. I can't think of one time in my head.
It was right before Jalen and them, wasn't it? No, it was a couple years.
Because Mark Ingram was 2009, because RG3 was 2010 when he won the Heisman. So whoever was the quarterback of 2009, I can't think on top of my head right now.
It's been some squads the last 15 years, bro.
15, this past decade and a half of college football has been probably the most elite in a long time. I ain't gonna lie to you, but
Michael Irvin Miami team. Now I get it. I know we're gonna get the old heads on here talking crazy to us, like, man, y'all can't lead them out. But I'm sorry. I
still got LSU.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah. They beat everybody.
For sure. What's up, KD? What's going on, my guy? Appreciate you tapping in with
us. What's up, dog?
For sure. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. The weekend review. The Grizz had 2 games. I mean, it's crazy to say that over the last. I mean, if you from the last time they had me and you talked to, I guess the next game, they would have 3 games in
a week and a half.
2 weeks. That's really crazy. All this time. And you would think, well, it's really a double-edged sword, bro, because you can have time off and it could prepare you. It could actually, help you get rest of some injuries and get your mind right, get some practice time in, get some home cooking, some home loving, whatever else you need to prepare your mind to go out there and play basketball. Or you can go out there and be cold, from having a lot of time off. And I think the Grizzlies kind of got a little bit of both of that over the last week or so. And this week going into a couple of days off where they don't even play again until Thursday when they play the Warriors, I believe. It's crazy, man. So we'll start with first of all, before we get into the actual games, man, let's talk about Zack Edey. I want to give him some flowers. He made it back after being I think they said he missed a lot of games. Was it 12 games or something like that?
Yeah, I think he missed about 12, 11 games.
Yeah, he been gone longer than what feels like longer than that. But came back in, was a dominant force. Was getting rebounds, just imposing his will on the offensive end. Edey didn't want to really have nothing to do with him down in the paint. Talk about what you saw from Edey, bro, in those minutes that he was able to give last night. Some promising things, some things that you may even saw that you want to see him touch up on. But just basically your overall view of Edey's return last night.
Yeah, I like what I saw from Zack. He came back and it didn't seem like he missed a beat. Didn't seem like the speed of the game. Normally when guys have to extend time off, it takes them a little minute for the speed of the game to get back to him, get the win back. But it seemed like the front office, well, not the front office, the sports medicine staff did a good job holding him back a few extra games. Because remember, he was supposed to return like a week before, but he did it because they weren't happy with his conditioning. But he seemed to be in shape, and his wins seemed to be there. So that was my first positive. But second, like you said, he just posing his wheel down low. When AD was in the game, I tweeted when I want to see more Jaren and Edey play together because when they were in the paint, the Lakers didn't want to get in the paint. Just having a 7'5" guy down there plus a Jaren Jackson Jr., it just makes things a lot harder for teams that want to centralize their offense through the paint, which is something that Edey counteracts very well. So I just liked what I saw. He was just doing what he's been doing. I told you before the show, I'm cool with Edey. I would love Edey to start, but it doesn't seem like that's what Taylor Jenkins wants to do. I'm cool with him not starting. But on any of the games where we're playing like an imposing big or opposing player to put pressure on the rim, he needs to be playing more than BC and probably ending the game more than liking than BC. And that's just how I feel. Yeah.
I want you to kind of like elaborate on that because I hear what you're saying when you say you don't care if he starts. But my question is this: what's the caveat? What's the reason if he is showing in these games, matchup based or not, that he's effective? He's winning his minutes and he's effective.
Yeah.
Why are we not starting him? And and you didn't say this, but this is a lot of things. A lot of times we hear people say, "Well, it don't matter who starts, so I don't care who starts. It's about who finishes or this or that." Well, hell, why you start anybody? That's my caveat. Like, why start John? Like, why start Trip? Like, you start people for a reason. And I feel like if he's being effective, why not? So I want you to kind of elaborate on it.
Like I said before, I said my last statement. I want him to start. I'd rather him start, but it doesn't seem like that's what TJ wants to do. And from a basketball perspective, I can understand why, because Brandon Clark gives him a little versatile. He can maybe on all 5 players. He isn't stuck in the paint. BC can get a little short corner, float in the lane, all that. Edey is solidified in the paint. He doesn't really have a short jump shot. He can hit the 3 ball, but he can hit the 3 ball, but it's either all the way outside.
Better than BC.
Yeah, he definitely best see. But it seems like BC's more mobile than Edey, and BC can probably guard guys perimeter better than Edey. So I get it from a basketball logistic. The reason why I say I don't care, because I'm kind of in the camp of like not really questioning too much on the small intricacy things that TJ does if they seem to be working on a grand scheme of things. I want Edey to be playing more than BC. I do, especially with games that we're playing the ADs, playing the Jokic's, playing the Giannis's. He should be playing way more. He don't know where he needs to be in the system to dominate. And that's a TJ problem. That's a TJ problem. We can get on that a little later. The reason I don't care, because I feel like Edey is more, no matter what he needs, who he has him for, he's going to be effective. BC, he has to play with certain guys to be effective. And he needs to play with the Jaws and the Jarens more in that first unit to be effective. Edey, it don't really matter who he's going to be because he's 7'5", he's big, and he's skilled. He can be effective whoever. So that's why I'd rather him start. The reason why I don't care as much because I feel like he's more consistent to be effective no matter who he plays with compared to BC, who needs to be with those starting guys, need to get those touches early to keep him engaged throughout the game.
Last question. Do you think there is ever a point where you do decide to start him? Or
yeah.
Because the reason why I asked that, Edey's never let's keep it a band. He'll never be as agile or athletic or quick on the switch as BC is. Like that'll never happen. So my question, the reason why I asked that is that if he's never going to change in that regard, do you never start him? Do you bring in somebody that you solidify as a starter just to say, oh, okay, he's going? That's where my question coming from. What's the hold up on it if that's not the long term vision?
I think probably long term, yeah, but I feel like on this team, I would start him in spot. Like if we're playing the Lakers, start him. If we're playing the Nuggets, start him. If we're playing the Bucks, start him. Someone that their premier player is living in the paint. Start Edey all day, at least for this year, until he gets those other skills or he's not so much reliability on the perimeter. He can maybe catch lobs a little bit better. Until he can get those skills locked down, start BC most of the games. But those games where it's a matchup where we need that inside presence primarily, start him all day. That like we're playing the Celtics, I'd rather have BC started because BC can match up with those wing guys more. But if we're playing the Nuggets, I'd rather have Edey started. That's just how I see how it should be happening in this year. Of course, next year and the years down the line, Edey should be the cementing starting center. There should be nothing about that. And again, I wish Edey was starting, but being that the season's played out the way it has so far, I'd rather see him starting in matchup type games instead of him not starting at all, you know?
Yeah, and see, that was my problem when the BC thing first happened, because I said, watch, when it works, one or two times, and eventually they go on to have I think they win 10 games in 11 nights, or 10 games in 11 games. They had wins and one loss, and it's like, well, it's working. And I guess, I mean, I can't argue that. The guys went 10-1 in the last 11. It's hard to, argue against that. But when you say matchup based, and again, not you, this has been a general thing in Grizz Twitter lately. And you pointed it out perfectly. Like, it's only so many Jokic's. It's only so many Embiid's. It's only so many Nurkic's. It's only so many these big brawly guys. You know what I'm saying? JV, I'm sorry, JV on his way out. Like, JV looks terrible. He didn't look the best when he was in New Orleans, but I mean now, and it could just be that it's a losing atmosphere. He looks terrible with the Wizards. These big brolicky guys that are like your premier type bigs, we don't have that a lot. And I think that's where you can steal a lot, with Edey, because he doesn't have that. And again, like when you talking about matchup base, I want the game to dictate Edey's minutes, not preset like, okay, we're playing this team. Because when you look at the landscape of the league, who does that? Like, who really has a starting caliber player at whatever the position may be, 1 through 5, that they only start, you know what I'm saying, in certain moments. So like the ideology, I hear it and it makes sense. I just don't. I guess I don't agree with it, but it makes sense. It's just we don't see this from nobody else. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. Like I said, I wish Edey was starting every game. I wish he was, but being that TJ is making his decision, being that we're where we are, I'd rather have him starting in those spot minutes. Because if y'all notice in the second half of the Lakers game, they went back to the old starting lineup because he started Ja, Dez, 3-6, Tripp, and Edey.
Right.
And not to be that guy, especially let's just say Gigi and Vince don't come back to what Gigi and Vince. Of course, if Gigi and Vince come back, then they'll be taking smart spot in that position. But let's say they don't. God forbid, knock on wood, they don't. That's gonna be a lineup. That's a lineup that we're gonna see playing majority of these tight, close games because you have everything you need. Because I don't feel like, and you can tell if I'm wrong, in those, it's been more times than not I've seen where Jalen Woods he seems invisible out there. Like when he's not engaged from the jump. He offensively, he doesn't seem to make an impact. Defensively, he still plays great defense. Right. But last night he got some foul trouble. He kind of got disengaged, and that's why they went to Smart. And no one's really talking about, at least I haven't seen it. Jalen Wills being the great player that great young player that he is, if he's not engaged offensively early, he kind of disappears the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that. So until he gets consistent where it doesn't matter. Same thing with BC. That's why you start BC, because you keep him engaged early. BC and Jalen Wills, when they're on, they're very effective. But in those spots where you're going to go to a Smart and Edey is when Jalen Wills and BC aren't as engaged, not hitting their shots, not hitting their floaters. So you need those extra guys to give a boost offensively and defensively. That's why when we started making that run in the second half, we brought in those guys to start this instantly. Then the bench came in and reciprocated all that with Edey the game. So it's just, I wish it wasn't like that, but being that what it is, I feel like the best way to use Edey, if we're not going to start him, is to start him in those matchup type games. But I will say, to respond to your thought, his minutes shouldn't be affected. He should be playing 25 to 30 every night, in my opinion, no matter if he's starting or not.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion, but it doesn't seem like that's what's going to happen with TJ. And I hope that changes as the season go. They're 18-9 now. So that's 27 games into the season now. So we're a quarter of a way through the year. Hopefully by game 4. Yeah, like we got a sample size. We got a sample size of what's probably going to be there, unless something happens when Gigi and Vince comes out and switches everything up.
Right.
But if hopefully he clicks in by game 41 to 50, that Edey should be playing 25 to 30 minutes every night, because Edey's averaging 11 and 7 right now, and his true shooting percentage is through the roof, and his plus minus is through the roof. He's being effective, so I don't think he should be being penalized with his minutes, no matter who we're playing. He still should be playing high minutes every game. But I can basketball logistically understand why you wouldn't start him if that's what you're going to do.
Yeah. Got a couple questions here. So we got Candy coming in from Twitter. Appreciate you. Shout out to Candy. They feel like if you got a certain skill set, this offense gives you trouble because they don't know where to put you guys. For example, BC in the first 3 games, man. BC was all over the place, looking like a broke dick dog, bro. I'm sorry. It was like, what is happening? We got to get him up out of here. And he came out and he did say that, he didn't trust his body, which was weird because he looked much better at the end of last year when he first came back. He went through a whole, off-season training camp, and you just ain't trusting your body, but he's back to at least looking like he's trusting it. And I've heard people talk about that with Bang too, which it's hard for me to, that ain't really on the docket, but we can talk about it real quick if you want to, Evan. With Bane not looking this great, I'll say this. Shout out to Anthony saying he had Jacob Gilliard on his show about a month ago, maybe a little bit over a month ago at this point now. And he talked about, still being tapped in with the guys and how, it's guys on the team that love the new offense, it's guys on the team that really don't love it. And based off that conversation, y'all go back and watch it. So I could be pulling this wrong. We talked about this in some group in our group chat as well, of who we could have been talking about that didn't love it. And a lot of us were thinking at the time, this is before a month of just not great Desmond Bane basketball. But at the time, a lot of us was thinking, okay, he's talking about Des because it sounded like he's even closer to Des than some of the other guys. And you're starting to hear people say now, like just watching it, that the new offense is affecting Dez. I don't really see it that way, bro, because I'll tell you this, like he's not doing a lot of the downhill Dez stuff. His game is affected, but I don't think it's the offense. I think dude just got some kind of nagging injury, whether it's the oblique, whether it's a foot, whether it's a hip, a back, or whatever. It's something, and it's not letting him put it in gear, because I'll tell you this, the new offense has nothing to do with his shot not falling. That dude is a sniper. He's been a sniper since day one. I remember watching, it was he was in some gym pre-draft, and I think this dude, it was a video where I think he shot like 100 shots, and Desmond Bane may have missed 6, bro, and 100. Like this dude, he's a shooter by trade, by nature. God put him on this earth with them little ass arms to shoot the basketball, and he's not hitting anything right now. So I don't think that has to do with the offense at all. But I do agree with Candy, like some of these guys that have a particular skill set, it's going to diminish them, and it's going to raise the tide of some guys like Asante, some guy like a Jake LaRavia, that where maybe we don't have specific skills. Maybe we just good all around basketball players, and now we're looking like we're something. So want to get you to respond on that one.
Yeah, that goes to Candy's point. That's why I feel like they're starting BC to keep him engaged, get him touches early because he only has a set things he can do. Like I said with Edey, it doesn't matter who he's playing with on the floor, he can be effective. With who that's exactly my point, Candy. Candy, you hit it right on the nose. Being that Taylor Jenkins seems to be hell bent on playing BC, and I'm not saying he shouldn't play BC, but playing BC in the role with high minutes, you have to put him in position to be successful. And it seems like right now is to have him starting with Ja, Dez, Jalen Wills, and Tripp can keep him in that flow of the offense early because he's going to give his effort on the defensive end. You can never question that. But on offense, if he's not catching loud and hitting floaters in the lane, what is BC doing? Mm-hmm. So you put him around the best guys on the floor to make his deficiencies not look as big. Your reason why he didn't look good, or not the main reason, reason why he didn't look good in the first game of the season because he was coming off the bench. He was playing with Marcus Smart still starting times. He was playing with Jalen Wills. He was playing with Santi Aldama, Jake LaRaviere, Scotty. Like in that, like who in that list that I named was like a true point guard that you're confident can give BC the ball in the right position to be successful.
Nobody full speed.
Going. Yeah, like you don't have Scottie Pippen's a point guard, but he's not a maestro. He doesn't control the pace of the game like a Ja Morant does. Mm-hmm. Ja Morant is so good, and people don't talk about it. Playmaking, putting his guys as a good point guard, as a great point guard should, putting his guys in position to be great. And that's why, for better or worse, Ted Jenkins put BC in starting lineup because he had to play with Ja. And I understand we talked about that before. Why are we like it was the whole Zaire Williams thing? Why is it only good if you only playing good with Ja?
Right.
And we've had that conversation, but again, I'm not the coach. If Ted Jenkins is going to be playing BC the minutes he has to play with those guys. I'm not saying it's good, but unfortunately, that's the situation that we're in.
We got too many players like that. I'm so tired of hearing people say, "Well, Santi, he plays bad when he ain't playing with Ja, but he played great with Ja." Man, goddamn, if you got 9 guys that got to play with Ja to play well, you might want to reconsider some stuff, bro. They got to play with Ja Morant, one of the best point guards of all time already. Like that's crazy. Got another question for you from Grindhouse EJ. What's going on with you? My question for Evan: what is wrong with forcing teams to match up with us instead of vice versa? Coming out, hitting them in the mouth, and you setting the tone. I agree with you, EJ. What you got?
Again, I think we should be doing that. I'm not advocating for what TJ is doing. I'm just calling how it is about what we send on the court. Like Chris said, we have a pretty big sample size. In my opinion, I'm gonna say it again. The starting lineup should be Ja, Dez, Wells, Tripp, and Edey. That's who the starting lineup should be. Edey should be. Oh my goodness! If it's up to me, Edey would be the 3rd or 4th leading scorer on the team, or at least in leading shot attempts or touches, because he creates so much attention. He's effective in the paint. The only thing that Edey does a super bad job is keeping the ball high. He drops that ball down so freaking much, and it makes me so mad because he's 7'5", and he brings the ball down, and he lets all guys swipe him, and that's when he goes up, he gets stripped, he gets free throw line. I hate it. Yeah. I think we should be doing that, and that's what Zach Kleiman. We called BS on what Zach Kleiman said. We drafted. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna make people adjust to Edey." We're not doing that, and either that's a Kleiman decision or a TJ position, and we're not doing it. I think we should be doing that, but I'm also saying, being that TJ is not doing it, this is the best way we need to do it. That's all I'm saying. We should be doing it. We should be using Edey a lot more. Hopefully, TJ knows that he's more effective playing more minutes. That's what year it should be. This year should be on the message. I hate that coaching style was so.
It goes to what you were saying. Your point.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, like I don't understand why TJ does some of the things that he does, but I'm just trying to make chicken salad out of chicken S word. Like, you feel me? Like,
don't put no raisins in it, bro. Don't do that.
Like that's why we got to do what we got to do. Being that TJ wants to play BC, I'm not saying sit BC on the bench and have him just spitting his thumbs all day, but you have to deal with the skill set which he has, which is why BC is starting right now, even though I don't like it.
KD, I said it was a conversation that was going on Twitter with myself, EJ, shout out to Young Harry. I think the Amazing was in there as well. And I know EJ talks about it a lot, and it's almost super simple, bro. Like, it should be plenty of two men games going on within the game with the Grizzlies. Like, we're trying to go so far away from what's normal. I don't mind the new offense. I actually like it to a certain degree with a lot of things that happen in it. But I think you can still add traditional components to that offense especially when the game slow down, because you see like last night when we're a team of guys that don't have one or two shot creators right now.
No, we don't got a lot of bags on our team. We don't got a lot of people with bags on our team.
The best one is on the bench, hurt with dreads in his head. Gigi, he ain't playing right now. I don't care what none of y'all say. So like you got to find a way to open up and create more action and flows throughout the game. And the easiest way to do that is pick and roll. I want to say it was a report came out that like are we last in pick and roll in the whole NBA? And pick and roll usage. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I want to say I saw something about that last week. And that's crazy when you got 7 foot, 270 pound Jaren Jackson. I know he's a finesse player. I get that. But he should be setting screens. BC, he does a lot of slip screens, not so much setting hard screens. I want to say Huff is getting a little bit better. I don't know if Santi's setting any, and now you got Big Edey, or you had Edey and you got him back. You 100% right. It should be 2-man games going all day with Ja and Edey, Bane and Edey, Jaren and Edey, Bane and Jaren, Ja and Jaren. Like we should be doing this with everybody, and for some reason we don't see it at all. Shout out to Ja. It was a couple of times that I've seen him make it a point over the last couple of games to get Jaren the ball, especially when he has a mismatch. Yeah, we got to take advantage of that more though, and it comes from Jaren running the floor. Like we talked on here that Edey was running the floor better than Jaren, and that should never. I'm sorry, I get it, but he's 7'4", 300. Jaren, you should be letting him beat you up and down the floor. I get the trail three. I get that's part of the offense. But you see easily when he gets positioned and somebody give him the ball, all he got to do is turn over that right shoulder and put it up. So, yeah, man.
Hey, when Tripp was engaged yesterday, Edey couldn't mess with him. Like down to 8, Jared was the only, pretty much besides Edey, the only bright spot that was on the floor yesterday. And that's what we need to see more. I don't know. I don't know if it's an offense thing. I don't know if it's like a personnel with the guards. Our guards are very inconsistent with keeping our bigs involved, which I don't understand. Like the only one that I can see like doing it consistently is Ja. And even beginning of the season, Ja wasn't getting Edey the ball at first. So it's just some that needs to be switched with the personnel of our guys to show that at least with Edey and Tripp, they are matchup nightmares. Whoever, especially Tripp, they are matchup nightmares whenever they're on the floor.
Yep.
Ja doesn't have to be, and that's what Ja was learning. That's why his assist numbers are so high. He didn't have to be Superman, but he needs to be not Superman, allocating to our bids because we can work outside, inside, outside in. That's why I feel like we play a lot. We play a lot, getting to the middle of the floor, trying to kick out and stuff like that, trying to get guys on backdoor cuts and all that, which is cool. But if we switch from an inside out perspective, working through Jaren, well, not working through, but working around, let me say, Jaren and Edey and having them kind of dictate where guys go and how defense have to move, that's when I can see this offense being free flowing. Because ultimately, when this offense isn't hitting shots, it gets very stagnant. The reason why we've been playing well because we have been hitting shots, but like last night when we're not hitting shots, that's when things can get very stagnant, and you don't see we get down big because our shots aren't falling. Your offense can still be like free flowing. You're still getting good shots when you're not hitting shots. You understand what I'm saying? If you're still working your philosophies the proper way. I just feel like we don't have any counteracts. Of course, I'm not a basketball coach, but
speaking of what you said, with him watching the videos, it's definitely affecting. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, like it's just I'm not a basketball coach, nor that I'm planning on being a basketball coach, but it's simple. We really look at it. When we're not hitting shots from the outside, or we're not getting these backdoor cuts or dribble drives to the rim, our offense looks bad. But if you work with the two mismatches you have with Jaren and Tripp, no matter if you're getting good shots, no matter if you're hitting shots or not, the offense will still be looking better. You're still be getting easy shots because eventually those easy shots will go in.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And we don't get that a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah, something going on with that backhanded. I can tell by that big old I don't know what you want to call it, but that mechanism that he got on his back when he go to the bench.
Yeah.
Some off, bro. I know we talked about it last part. We ain't got to stay on it, but I really wish he would just sit down, bro. Just sit down. Like, because if you got going on, if you're stretching it to the postseason, when
it's going to be
need you to play, give us this. Like, no, dog.
I'm not saying this is gonna happen, but I wouldn't be surprised when Gigi get back because Gigi's playing like he's in his shoes now. If y'all don't see, Gigi's in both. He's out of boot. He's moving up and down the court. I feel like he's nearing a return, probably around beginning of next month, middle of next month. I feel like once Gigi come back, and then I wouldn't be surprised if Dez takes a few weeks off. Because, like you said, when Dez is out the game, besides John and Jaren, you don't really have a lot of people that can create their own shot. That's why I feel like we need Gigi to supplement that. When Dez isn't playing with Owe's not in the lineup, we have another guy, especially on perimeter besides Ja, to create offense. So I may be wrong, but don't be surprised when Gigi comes back and he's playing well. And when he plays well, because I feel like Gigi will play well when he comes back.
Yeah,
Dez may take a few weeks off.
Hopefully so. So the pick and roll is crazy. That's like a basketball principle 1-on-1. Rip Kitty, appreciate you coming through. Yes, last in pick and rolls per get by wide margin.
We're 3 under the last team. That's crazy.
That's what a point guard is trying to get to the rim. Like that just don't. Yeah, that's crazy.
I want to see some Trip Edey pick and rolls.
That's what I'm saying. Like even with Trip, like Trip is again. I'm not the stat guy. If you come in here for this specific stats, I'm not him. But I see him and I remember most of them at least like what they describing. And I know Jaren is like very high as far as creating his own shot, getting to the rim, and it's like he's doing great with that. Why not get him some help? Like it's an idea. Like I ain't saying it's gonna work. Like you said, I ain't no coach, but some of this stuff be so elementary that it's like, let's just try it. And if it don't work, great. All right, cool. But like it's so simple, dog.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Let's see. I'm just trying to go through these comments and catch up because we got so many that done came through.
Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Yeah, appreciate y'all for sure tonight. NK said, think about this. We just getting started. Consistent 2-man play with Ja. I was just talking about that. Yep.
It only took
2-3 years. No, it took 5. Ja's in what, year 5 or 6?
6.
This should have been the very first principle that they when Ja was snatching chicken tenders out of the draft bowl. I remember that video. He was snatching chicken tenders out of the catered food bowl or whatever. Bare hands. It's like they should have left there, flew to Memphis, and got in the gym, start working on pick and roll 2-man games.
Hey, Jaren, fly in real quick. Come in for this 6 a.m. workout real quick. I mean, before the press conference.
So yeah, like why we ain't doing the same thing with Jaren? Like it makes sense. So you're right. It took way too long, and we seeing glimpses, but it's like, all right, cool. Double down on this shit because when it's playoff time, we gotta find us some go-to something. I'm loving Jaren with this floater that he's shown before, but it's almost getting to a point now where like you remember when we had Zebo throw it to the hand and you knew it was on automatic to the point where I played just like that on 2K and the shit worked every time.
At least getting a fat, at least.
Exactly. Jaren's starting to kind of get to that point at least this season. And hopefully he can stay in this mode to where that's becoming his, hey, this is my go-to move and none of y'all can stop this shit. And I'm loving that. Find y'all a couple of go-to moves, like you were talking about, go-to moves counters to add in the wrinkles of the offense because, the base of it is great. But man, come on, bro. It ain't going to always be perfect.
Yeah.
I do still put part of the blame on the guards for not tripping 100%.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Yep. Bang said it flared up from time to time. Well, he needs to go wherever LeBron just came back from overseas because we all know he was over there getting some super serum, something in his body. With his old ass,
drugged him up.
But see, LeBron. See, that's why you gotta see young kids that's watching. This is why you gotta watch who you talking to and watch your mouth because you keep talking all this shit about Bron, and he could very easily give you the fountain of youth to put your back in perfect condition. But you sitting here calling the man old, stomping your feet with you playing with his shoes on and disrespecting him. Like bang, just stop, bro. Just stop. I ain't saying you gotta be his best friend, but at least get the.
You could get the keys at least, man.
Yeah, come on now. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all. Keep the comments coming, like, cause I'm trying to keep up with them, but there's so many coming through. I don't want to pass up everybody, but yeah, man. Shout out to Edey. We'll jump on the next subject, talking about really the games in general. We talked about Edey, but just going back to the Grizzlies, they finally beat the Nets last week. If they would have went down 3-0 to them suckers, I swear, bro. Like that team is garbage. I mean, they garbage. They ain't trying to win. They trying to get traded, all of them. Shout out to EJ. He sent me a video. I missed it. DFS looked like he wanted to be on this side when he got done playing us. But they did beat the Nets finally. Coach Jenkins done got fired up. Ja done got in these folks' head. But they did lose to the Lakers. We talked about that, as well. So let's start with the Grizzlies versus Nets win. Let's start with some positivity from that game. Just some of the things you remember, some key things that you liked that stood out to you in that game.
Just be honest, I watched the game obviously, but that was actually the same day as graduation night, so I wasn't watching
you was not tuned in like that.
I was not tended to. I was not very.
You was trying not to trip on the stage.
Yeah, like I was at graduation practice and all. Anyway, but I caught like the second half of the on because we was at wherever restaurant we was at. But anyway, number one, Jack controlled the pace of the team. That's one thing I really liked. Like in contrast to the Lakers game, I feel like Ja just wasn't very much on kilter with the Lakers game. He just didn't seem to be in control. It seemed like he was trying. And I get why Ja don't like the Lakers, and he is made that very clear all the time. He does not like the Lakers, especially because after they knocked him out of the playoffs. But I feel like compared to the Lakers game, he was trying to force things a little too much against the Lakers. With the Nets, he kind of just let the game come to him a lot. Jaren also kept playing well. Jaren had 20 and 7, I feel like, against the Nets. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Again, just being Jaren. Again, like I've been saying, probably the most consistent player on the team this whole year. Love to see that. Desmond Bane, even though he just played back against the Lakers, had 21 points against the Nets. So I really don't know. I feel like that's why I don't think is an injury thing, because he's been having some steadily good games. It's just not when he's bad, he's really bad, which I really don't understand. The other thing, just the bench playing well. Like I know. I can't remember what Smart had. I'm trying to look. What did Smart have that game? Yeah, Smart had 5, Santi had 20, Pip had 7. Just the bench looked like how they should be playing. But as we saw with the Lakers game, it doesn't translate as much. So it was an overall team win. I feel like we just stopped playing with our food, honestly, because I feel like we just took the Nets a little too lightly those past few games and locked down defensively.
Yep.
Yeah, Santi got pissed off too. You don't see Santi getting pissed off a lot. But, that's what I saw from that game. Should have done that a long time ago. Like we said, we shouldn't have dropped those past 2 games with the Nets, but hey, take what we can get. But what'd you like with the Nets game?
They just play how they supposed to play. Like I'm of the mind frame, and I'm so sick of about to make my way out of it, honestly, because it's so irritating on both sides at this point with Grizz Twitter. You got people that like. Yes, it's great that we're winning, but these teams that we played have not been great teams. So we're supposed to win those games. That's what we were coming on here talking about early on the season when you lose in the teams that are bottom feeders. We lost, like we talking about right now. We lost to the Nets twice. We should have not done that, y'all. Like, it's very simple to me. Like, just win the games and beat the opponents you're supposed to beat. Now, I get trap games. I get scheduling, issues, 6 games, 9 nights. I get all of that, bro. But like when we get up too high about these games where Santi, is beating up on lesser teams, and then we go out to, the Lakers that we know is a big game. We know I got into it with Sean Coleman today on Twitter about it. Like, big games, you got to show up, Santi. Like, I'm tired. I get the 20 points. The 25 points, the season highs, the career highs he's putting up this year. I love when he's shooting the 3. He ain't playing go to hell ball, like he did last year. But at the same time, bro, with these big games, these marquee games that a lot of people have already been questioning, is this sustainable when it comes to the playoffs? You got to show up, my guy. Like all that spicy Santi, like KD said, that's cool when we playing these sorry teams. But when we playing, top 5 teams in the West, or teams that we have known beef and known drama and storylines with, this is when we talking about, this report that everybody's talking about right now with the league, the viewership being down. Well, they can't correct, you upset that the Grizzlies are not being put on national TV more, but when they are playing these marquee matchups or these storylines that should be getting sold, Adam Silver can't look at that game and say, oh, well, next time they play, we got to put them on national TV. We need to be flexing them in. Because they went out there. I don't care what the box score said. Yeah, they lost by 6. That game was over. Like, that game had been over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they came back, gave it a little life, but they were not playing the way they needed to play. So that's all I got to say on that. Like, just make sure, and like you said, Candy, like, never too high, never too low. You got to stay in the medium. You got to stay
even kill,
grounded and even kill.
Yep.
Because stuff is gonna come, bro. And I just don't want us to get caught up in, easier schedules or certain matchup guys out. We ain't playing, games, against these guys full rosters where we like, we're tiers above everybody. Which I think this roster is great. Let me make sure I say that. But when we get in certain type of, and this is why I hate we didn't kind of go far in that tournament. And I know I'm rambling a little bit, but that's why I hate we didn't go so far in that in-season tournament, because those type of just environments, intensity type games, you need that to test where your team is, bro. And like I said, last night, it was just one example for me. Like, yeah, the Lakers probably going to be a play-in team. Good God, if we play them in the first round again, and we come out there like that because they're a little bit bigger and physical, and of course, you got the foul calls. Like, come on, dog. Come on. Wait. FIBA Santi only look good against Antarctica and Switzerland.
Antarctica is crazy. Saying stupid, these man sitting in Antarctica.
Man. Like, let's play some real games that matter against some real competition. And give me that. And then guess what? If you do that, Santi, stay here.
Yeah. My whole thing is like, we'll lose. No, if we play ball, we won't. But if we play like we did, yeah. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just, you can't decide how he want to get up for. Like,
you can't.
You can't say you want to get up for the Celtics, but then you don't want to get up for the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the stuff that makes me mad with this team. Like, we're too far gone with the core of this team to have they're human. They're going to have bad games, obviously, but they're also professional athletes. They need to know game in and game out, we're fighting for a bigger goal to win the NBA championship, and championship teams bring it dang near 82 nights of a year. And you can't pick and choose. Like, if we came up with the same teams we played Boston with, we would have beat the Lakers by at least 15 points. Just straight about it. Because the Lakers are not a good team. They have two dogs and a bunch of role players. The Lakers are not a good team. We just match up them bad because LeBron James, and sometimes we can't decide how to guard Anthony Davis sometimes. You see, when we played the 7'5" dude, he didn't want to come to the paint. And LeBron didn't want to come to the paint either, but our head coach don't understand that. That's why we match with the Lakers so bad. It's just, this team has to be mature enough to, no matter what's going on in the game, no matter we go up by 15, go down by 15, we keep the same intensity no matter what. We got to come in on team, we got to lead the game on team. And that's the next step for this. I don't feel like basketball-wise, like on the court, we need to like change anything drastically. I don't, because especially if everybody comes back healthy, we have the talent and personnel to go very far in the playoffs. But maturity-wise, intangibles-wise, connectiveness, if that's even a word, those are the things that we need to play, that we need to come on with in game 45, 50, 60, and eventually game 82. That's going to propel us in the playoffs, because we can't just win off of talent. Almost every team's in the playoffs is going to be talented. But it's all the little things that other teams are not doing that's going to push it. Like, I tweeted this last night, and I'm not going to get on a tangent. But Ja Morant, I love you. You are undoubtedly one of the best players in the league. But gosh, your body language be terrible sometimes. When you especially when y'all getting foul calls, like, it starts with you, bro. Like, I don't know if you watching this. If you watching this, tell him, and I will take the heat. When you're not getting, I know you have the worst superstar whistle in the league. You do not get calls that you should, and that is undoubtedly. But you being the best player on this team and the leader of this team, or one of the leaders on this team, you can't let that fade you. Last night, and this is not just been last night when y'all wasn't getting foul calls, bro, his head was dropping. He was throwing his hands up, talking to the refs. Like, that's not winning behavior. That's not winning habits you need. And when your best player is doing that, it's gonna trickle down. Then everybody's gonna start talking to the refs. And everybody's not gonna get back on defense. Those are the type of things that you need your best player. And I get you're human. I get you pissed off, and Chris, you may have something to rebuttal me, but like,
got something to add. Keep going.
Like, you can't have those things being your best player that's doing those things, because everyone's gonna follow suit, and those are not winning habits. That's what I mean by an intangible in the maturity of the team. We have seen grown mature in this team. I'm not saying this team are still playing like 18, 19-year-old dudes. I'm not saying that, but they're not playing game in the game out like a championship level team. Like, their talent isn't matching up to the maturity. That's my point. We have the talent to be an NBA championship team, but with our maturity and our intangibles and our continuity and connectiveness as a team, from front office to coaching to players down, it's not there. Sometimes it's hitting and sometimes it's not. Game against the Celtics is hitting. They came in here with a winning mindset. We're gonna punch these jokers in the mouth in Boston.
Not gonna lose again.
And they're not gonna lose because we've been losing these jokers for 11 years. Last night against the Lakers, we not at home. It didn't seem like the energy was hitting from the top. And that's what I mean.
I kind of gonna touch on not this exactly, but this kind of brings to the point where I was gonna bring it up where he was talking about the jump shots, stuff like that. To your point, KD, one of my favorite players, especially point guards in the NBA, is Lonzo Ball. Before Ja, he was kind of my just stopgap type player that I love watching Lakers game. They were sorry as hell right when Bron got there, but I just enjoy watching him play because he played the game the right way. He give you that Jason Kidd vibe, ready to run, get the ball out of his hands. Just an exciting guy to play with. But we all know his shot was terrible, bro. And it got to the point to where he got his shot fixed. If his shot can be fixed, if you don't know what Lonzo Ball was shooting like before now, just go back, type in. I'm going to make it easy on you. Go type in Lonzo Ball UCLA footage, and you'll find it back when he was in college. That shot was terrible. And they made him into a respectable, I want to say, before his crazy knee injuries he had going on, he was like 36%, 36%, something like that.
38 for real.
Yeah, like that. If you can change his shot, then Ja Morant, for all intents and purposes, can change his jump shot. But what I wanted to kind of even add to that, KD, before because I was already thinking kind of go in that realm a little bit. I'm not saying shout out to Team Morant, all them guys over there. Shout out to them. Josh should keep Team Morant number one. Like, shout out to Trey, shout out to Mo, shout out to all them guys that's in that camp. But he has to get with somebody else as well in the summer to add more to his game, bro. Like, because we talk about foul calls, and I know they're working on a lot of stuff in the summer. I know, we saw him, we thought was going to be adding a midi to his game. We ain't seen it much this season. It's still been a lot of driving to the rim. It's just not the jumping over people and dunking, which I respect him for that. Hey, you own to something, Candy? Right next to him. Got to get with somebody else to add more to your game, even if it's, I'm sorry to say, learning how to be a goddamn foul merchant. Because I'm sorry, if I got to sit here and watch Shea Alexander and Luka and all these guys that are marquee names in the NBA hunt for fouls, they're superstars, getting paid like superstars, selling jerseys, selling shoes, selling tickets. Sometimes our morals and our standards and our ego get in the way, but like Ja got to find a way, bro, to make his game easier on him. It's the same thing I was talking about with Desmond Bane. You in this downhill, Des putting the head down, about to put the basketball through the hardwood, bro. Slow down. You slow down, bro. You know how they say you scaring the hoes. Like slow down, bro. You doing too much, and you end up hurting yourself. When you could literally go watch and train with somebody else. I'm pretty sure he works very hard in the summer, bro. But add something to your game, very simple. You can go watch I keep saying it, like Devin Booker to me is a person that Desmond Bane should be watching and just like studying his game. Devin Booker is so smooth, so slow, so in control of his game. Able to get into the mid-range, and guess what? When he get in there midi, he's either gonna drop it or he's gonna make you jump up and bump into you and get a foul. Guess what? Now Dez ain't on the ground, he ain't holding his foot, he ain't doing the flyby king, constantly stopping on a dime on his toe. Desmond Bane's game is not healthy, bro, at all. He does not have a healthy game, and y'all get mad when people say that he needs to somehow find his way to be a six-man versus being a starter. Otherwise, his career ain't going to be prolonged because he's going to keep getting hurt with this reckless play. I love you play hard, but him and Ja got to find ways to add simpler ways to score in a game. And if you want to go to the rim at the end of the game, do that. But this constant stuff, this in the middle of the game, hurting themselves and just, it's to their detriment, and it's also a detriment to the team because it's making them not available, in the long term of things. So, man, it's a bull and china. Man, God, Lee can't. You ain't lying. Like, calm down, bro. Like, calm down. The rim gonna still be there. Just slow down, bro. Like, God, Lee. KD said his feedback.
His feedback is crazy.
Like crazy.
Feedback is crazy. Man, just 26-year-old dude. Yeah, your feet bad, bro. That's crazy.
Hey, he walk like he got bad feet for real though. Yeah, like he do limp. Can we all agree he limp when he walk?
Yeah.
Same thing with X. He might got bad feet, bad something bad down there though.
Okay, then I'm gonna keep that.
Hey, yo, pause. Yeah, watch out now.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah,
get yourself together mentally, bro. Y'all can't talk all that shit and then go out there to LA and do that. Y'all can't do that. I'm sorry.
All that talking to the ref, all that complaining for calls. Like I like the way this team rides with each other. And they get rowdy and all that, but it has to be collective good energy no matter who's on the floor. Yeah, like if you're gonna talk crap to the Nets, do the same thing to the Lakers, but in a good way. And that don't mean complaining for calls or talking crap. It's like doing the right things while you're on the floor to produce to the scoreboard, not the little intricacies of the same. Like
what KD said, the refs are your friends. Should be.
If you do it the right way. But I feel like sometimes this team, they take that heated energy and they take that like chip on your shoulder energy and they put it into negative things on the floor. Like how you said, like it's been sometimes we're not even just with this. Sometimes the guy on the bench. Sometimes after Scotty makes a bad play, turns out he gets the ball 94 feet. He driving that jump to the rim. Like it's that type of stuff. Yeah, get that play back with doing a smart way, collective way. Sometimes when Ja doesn't get a call, he may suck like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna take him 1 or 2 plays off, but next time I get that, I'm going straight to the dude. Like, bro, I love the get back energy, but it has to be centralized into something positive, not something reckless. Like Chris was saying,
chaos.
Yeah, control chaos.
Yep. But we're gonna end on this, man. Like I said, I said 45. Guess what we had? We had.
I thought he was gonna end it on that one. I forgot about this whole. I thought he was finna end it for real, but nah.
No, we finna end it. This ain't much really to talk about. It really ain't much been reported yet. I can't say that. It's been named to report. Let me actually talk about that real quick.
Yeah. They said we're interested. I know we said DFS. I saw that. Saw Cam Johnson, obviously. I saw Giannis Valanciunas for some reason. I'm like, what?
I think that's a fake source. Y'all need to make sure y'all cite y'all sources when y'all sharing stuff because I look at that dude page. I don't know how legit that page is. But like you said, Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, both of them in Brooklyn. I did see. Can't say too much, but I'll say this. I saw something that said the odds of Herb Jones. I'll say that Dunk Central, and I'll just say it is a little smoke to that for real. Do I agree that should be a move they make? No, but if the Pelicans' goal is to get out of the tax, right? I'm just gonna say this because that's the goal. They are doing a fire sale. They trying to get rid of Brandon Ingram. They even trying to get rid of Zion Williamson, which is crazy.
CJ McCollum.
McCollum, everybody's on the block for them except for what they're saying is Herb, which I've heard that's not really true. I think that's just now trying to get people to not ask for them, as well as Trey Murphy. But if they're trying to get out of the tax and Herb's contract, I think it's like $13 million. That means they want to take less money back in a deal. If that's the case, if I could get a Herb Jones for like
a Luke.
Maybe straight up, or maybe they want a young player. Maybe they don't want to expire.
Laravia,
a Jake and a Santi.
A Jake and a Scott. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Nah, I'll trade Scotty. I don't care. But that's just me though. But
don't nobody want no damn Scotty Pimpin. I'm sorry. Don't nobody want them end of the roster dudes, man. Like, if we can make something like that shake, am I open to it then? Yeah, because we still got trade assets. You still got Luke. You still got Smart. You could really, honestly, bro. And this is what pisses me out when I look at Kleiman at the Lakers game last night, sitting there just constantly rubbing his face. He got plenty of moves that he could make right now. Me and Candy, we be on that team. F them picks, like trade the picks, bro. Move the picks around. Go get you some guys, bro. Shorten the roster up. Go ahead and do some consolidation. It's moves out there. Man, you tired of the mud, boy. You ain't get no sleep. My eyes red in the mud. We gonna get up out of here. I'll just say this: I'm not opposed to it if it happens. It's not my first idea. It's not my first want, But with everything, it's some other two names that I won't talk about because it ain't been really reported. But what's gonna happen, bro? I thought December 15th we was gonna get smoked. We didn't get nothing.
Like I said last week, I don't see nothing happening to the deadline. Like honestly, I don't. Because I'm not saying it's right, but because we have so many guys out the lineup, I really don't see nothing happening to the deadline. Like they really want to see what this team looks like with Gigi and Vince back on the court. Again, just because I see it have don't mean I support it.
I'm just, no. I'm just saying in general. I mean,
like I don't see it happening. Do I feel like a trade is gonna happen? Yeah, but I don't feel like it's gonna be for a big swing like people think. I wanted to get Cam Johnson. I just don't see that happen. I feel like we're gonna be the Nets are gonna ask for too much to get Cam Johnson. And we're not gonna get him. I wanted to get him, but I don't think that's happening. I think DFS is a definitely more realistic option. He fits a need that we need. We need a big wing that can guard and shoot the three. It's no to keep on the Grizzlies. Yes, F them. I'm definitely team F them picks. I definitely like when we play the Lakers. DFS can do a better job, like physically dealing with LeBron, or if we're playing the Celtics or any team like that with a big wing. I feel like DFS is the right option, but I still don't see that happening until the deadline. Deadline's in like February, right?
February,
yeah,
or 9th, something like that.
Yeah, so I don't see a move happening until February until we get everybody back. So if I think who's gonna be traded, I'll probably say between Luke, Jake, and Smart. Unfortunately, even though I don't want them to trade Smart, I can see him being traded for a guy like DFS because we're not getting Jimmy Butler. Even though people think we're not getting Jimmy Butler, I wish we get Cam Johnson, but I don't think. I think a bigger team with a bigger bag may get him. So yeah, I see it happening, but I just don't think it's gonna be a swing like we think. I feel like the guys we have with our top core, I feel like that's gonna be the top core at the end of the season, and that's just how I see it.
I think if this team goes into the playoffs, borderline as is, it's a fail. And
why is that?
I gotta be because you've literally seen low-key twice that you were second in the West and you didn't really make any type of move, went to the playoffs and got your ass handed to you twice.
Yep, not once but twice.
So what makes you think with now, although this is the deepest team that the Grizzlies have ever had, talent-wise, yes, we still got two guys that are coming from injury, but fully healthy, we all can agree this is the most deep and talented Grizzlies team ever. Even with that being said, though, with all of these guys being young the way they are, you have no vets, you have no guys that have been there outside of Smart. It's not smart, no pun intended, to go into a playoff run when your goal is to go win the championship and you have nobody that's even been there to show you how to get there. It's just that don't make sense to me. I love Jalen Wills. Shout out to Mr. Fred Wills, came on the show. That's my guy. We talk a lot. But going into the playoffs with your starting small forward, you're starting 3, 2, whatever you want to put them at, as a rookie, I don't know if that's the smartest thing to do, bro. If our goal is to win the championship, yes, he can get minutes. Yes, he should get minutes. We've seen that. I just don't think that's the smartest thing to do. And I love Gigi. Again, you know how I give it up about him. But if you can still make a move to get a legitimate guy that's been there that can show the guys a way, I think that makes the most sense, bro. Because I've seen even people today like. I ain't mad at the DFS move. I was on the DFS move 2 years ago when we had Dylan Brooks. I feel like if you swap them out, things go differently. But a lot of my concerns when it comes to shot creation reared their ugly head even last night in the Lakers game. If Ja ain't hitting and Dez ain't hitting, we have nothing that, well, Jaren was doing his thing. DFS does not create shots. He can hit the three ball and he can defend and can be a bigger body at the wing spot. But the things that we really have true needs at, does he fix that when it comes to late game situations? No. And that's where, like, if you make that as a second move, shout out to NK, I think you said something like that. Can you make separate moves, a couple different moves? You do that.
I do like DeAndre Hunter, even though I don't think that's realistic. I like DeAndre Hunter. I just don't see us going out to get him. For some reason, I just don't see us wanting to get DeAndre Hunter. I don't know, but I could be wrong though. Just with our history, because the Marcus Smart trade is the outlier. I can't think of in the past maybe 5 to 10 years where Grizzlies have made a big move during the season to swing for a championship.
That's the problem.
And you're right. And you're right. And you're right. I wish we were, but going off of history, I just don't see us. I think a DFS is a safe move. We don't make swing moves during the season, and that's what the problem is. Yeah, but outside the smart thing, yeah, like we're definitely a play it safe franchise. So that's why I say DFS. I swing for fences of Cam Johnson or DeAndre Hunter. I just being that the layout of the team is what we is, and we have a lot of unknowns. I feel like the front office is more likely to make a DFS move than Cam Johnson and DeAndre Hunter. I wish it was different, but that's just how I see it happening. But our trade is coming, but I don't feel like it's gonna be as big as people think it will be.
Y'all let us know in the comment what y'all think. We finna get out of here. My boy Evan finna fall asleep on the mic, man. God,
no, I'm not, bro. You see, I had the kids. I was with the kids today, bro. So I had to deal with a bunch of people your daughter's age and up. So you understand how it is dealing with little babies all day. So I'm good, y'all. I'm just finna turn on some wrestling and give me some food and go to sleep after this. So I appreciate y'all.
For sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, everything you just said.
Yeah.
Gotta change if you want to win, man.
Like we just saw the Warriors, even though I don't feel that's a swing move. I feel like they just got Dennis Schroeder. Clearly, Brooklyn is willing to ship their guys out. We just gotta be able to grab one of the jokers. And hopefully it's Cam Johnson, but it's just some in my soul don't think that's gonna happen. I hope to God I'm wrong. I just really don't see that happening.
We're gonna see. Well, that's all we got for y'all today, man. Make sure y'all give us a follow. Let me find my links at Twitter, on X, whatever you want to call that. Make sure y'all give us a follow on our personal page as well as our main pod page at the No Bluffin Pod. Man, we'll be back next week at 6:00. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for everything that we got going. We'll see y'all next week. Take it easy, and as always, go Grizz.
Go Grizz.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the No Bluffing Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of all things Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.